Have you ever spent hours memorizing a long list of random English words from a textbook, only to forget almost all of them the very next day? It feels like you are filling a bucket that has a hole in the bottom. You work so hard, but nothing seems to stay. What if I told you that the problem isn't your memory, but the method? And what if I told you that with your AI partner, you can learn new words that are actually useful for your life and make them stick in your brain forever? Welcome back to Day 5 of the 10-Day English Challenge with AI. I'm your host, Scarlett. We are halfway through our challenge, and you are doing an amazing job. Yesterday, we built a consistent daily habit. Today, we are going to supercharge that habit by learning how to expand your vocabulary in a way that is smart, effective, and even fun. Our mission for Day 5 is to turn you into a vocabulary master. First, we will learn the most important rule of vocabulary learning. Context is king. Second, we will discover 4 powerful AI prompts that create a complete and customized vocabulary lesson for you anytime you want. And finally, for our language focus, we will master how to ask what questions, the essential tool for getting the exact information you need from your AI tutor. Part 1. Why word lists don't work, and what does. Let's begin by talking about why that feeling of forgetting words is so common. For decades, the traditional way to learn vocabulary was to memorize long lists of words and their definitions. The problem with this method is that our brains don't like random, disconnected information. When a word has no connection to your life or to other ideas, it's very easy for your brain to think, "This isn't important," and to let it go. That's the hole in the bucket. So, how do we fix the bucket? We do it by following one simple but powerful rule. Context is king. Context is the situation or the story around a word. Our brains are built for stories and connections. When you learn a new word inside a story or a real-life situation, you create a strong connection in your mind. This connection is what makes the word memorable. This is why learning vocabulary by topic is so much more powerful. If you love to travel, learning words like itinerary, boarding pass, and destination is much more effective than learning random words from a list, because these words have meaning and relevance to your life. Your AI companion is the perfect tool to help you learn in this way, by providing endless context for any topic you can imagine. Part 2. Your AI Vocabulary Toolkit. Now, let's get practical. I want to give you 4 essential techniques you can use with your AI to create the perfect vocabulary lesson. Think of these as 4 tools in your new vocabulary toolkit. Our first tool is the Topic Explorer. This is your starting point. When you want to learn about a new topic, you need a good, relevant word list. You can use this prompt. Hello. I want to learn English vocabulary about. Insert your topic here. For example, cooking. Please give me 5 common and useful nouns, 5 common verbs, and 5 common adjectives related to this topic. This prompt is wonderful because it gives you a balanced list of different types of words, all focused on one topic that you are interested in. Our second tool is the Deep Diver. Once you have a new word from your list, you need to understand it deeply. Let's say you learned the word ingredient. You can use this prompt. For the word ingredient, please give me 3 things. 1. A simple definition for an A2, bone learner. 2. A synonym. And 3. 2 different example sentences. This prompt takes you from just knowing a word to truly understanding it. You get the definition, you learn a similar word, and you see how it is used in different situations. Our third tool is the Story Weaver. This is where we use the power of context. You can take a few words you've learned and ask your AI to connect them. Use this prompt. Please write a short, simple paragraph, about 3 to 4 sentences long, that uses these 3 words: ingredient, delicious, and to prepare. The AI will then generate a mini story for you. When you read the words inside this story, your brain makes powerful connections, and the meaning becomes much clearer and more memorable. And our fourth and final tool is the Fun Quiz Master. After you have practiced a few words, you need to test yourself to make sure you remember them. This is a crucial step for moving words from your short-term memory to your long-term memory. You can use this prompt. Now, please generate a fun, multiple-choice quiz with 3 questions to test me on the vocabulary we just practiced. The AI will create a mini test for you. This technique, called active recall, is scientifically proven to be one of the best ways to reinforce your memory. With these 4 tools, the Topic Explorer, the Deep Diver, the Story Weaver, and the Quiz Master, you have a complete professional method for learning vocabulary that is endless and perfectly customized to you. Part 3. Language Focus. Alright, you are doing great. Let's move on to our language focus for day 5. First, as always, let's look at our 10 new vocabulary words. Our first word is expansion. Expansion is the act of increasing something in size, number, or importance. For example, today's lesson is about vocabulary expansion. Another example is, the company is planning an expansion into new countries. Our second word is technique. A technique is a special way of doing something. For example, we learned 4 new techniques for learning vocabulary with AI. Another example is, the artist has a unique painting technique. Our third word is context. Context is the situation in which something happens, which helps you to understand it. For example, learning words in context is the best way to remember them. Another example is, I need to know the full context of the story. Next, we have definition. A definition is a statement that explains the meaning of a word or phrase. For example, you can ask your AI to give you a simple definition of a new word. Another example is, I looked up the definition in the dictionary. Our fifth word is relevant. Something that is relevant is connected with what is happening or being discussed. For example, it is best to learn vocabulary that is relevant to your own life and interests. Another example is, please only include relevant information in your report. The sixth word is to acquire. To acquire something is to get or learn it. For example, the goal of this challenge is to acquire new English skills. Another example is, she was able to acquire the property for a good price. Our seventh word is to reinforce. To reinforce something means to make it stronger. For example, taking a quiz is a great way to reinforce your memory of new words. Another example is, the team's victory helped to reinforce the coach's new strategy. Next, we have quiz. A quiz is a short, simple test. For example, asking your AI to create a quiz is a fun way to practice. Another example is, we have a history quiz in class tomorrow. Our ninth word is endless. Endless means seeming to have no end or limit. For example, with an AI tutor, you have an endless supply of practice material. Another example is, the drive through the desert seemed endless. And our final word is method. A method is a particular way of doing something. For example, today we learned a smart and effective method for vocabulary learning. Another example is, what is the best method for solving this problem? Now for our grammar focus. Today, we are learning about WA, questions. These are the question words that are essential for asking for information. They are the keys you use to get exactly what you need from your AI tutor. The most common wadios words are what, when, where, who, why, and the special one, how. Let's see how you can use them to learn vocabulary. You use what to ask for definitions. For example, what does the word context mean? You use how to ask about the way to do something, like spelling or pronunciation. For example, how do you spell technique? Or, how do you pronounce this word? You can also use how to ask for examples. How can I use this word in a sentence? You use why to ask for reasons. For example, after an AI gives you a correction, you can ask, why is this answer better? Mastering these simple question words turns you from a passive learner into an active investigator. You can guide the conversation and dig deeper into any topic you don't understand. Part 4. Practice tips for the 4 skills. To make your vocabulary practice even more complete, here are some extra tips for all 4 skills. For listening, after your AI generates a story using your new words, you can ask it, can you please generate a simple, clear audio of you reading this story? Many AIs can do this. Listening while you read is an incredibly powerful way to connect the sound of a word to its spelling. For speaking, after you learn your new words for the day, start a 5-minute cue, a session with your AI about that topic. Your personal challenge is to use at least one of your new words in your spoken answer. Say it out loud, even if you are not perfect. For reading, ask your AI this prompt. Can you find me a simple blog post or a news article for an A2 bone learner about your topic? Reading real-world texts is a great way to see your new vocabulary in a natural context. And for writing, you can start a word of the day journal. Every day, choose one of the new words you learned and write 3 different sentences about your own life using that word. This is a fantastic way to make the word truly yours. Part 5. Your Day 5 Challenge. You have done an amazing job today, halfway through our challenge. Let's finish up in our final part. Part 5. Let's quickly summarize our lesson. First, we learned that the most important rule for learning vocabulary is context is king. Second, we discovered our powerful 4-tool AI toolkit, the Topic Explorer, the Deep Diver, the Story Weaver, and the Fun Quiz Master. And finally, we learned how to use WH questions to become active, curious learners. We also added 10 powerful words to our vocabulary. Let's remember them. Expansion, technique, context, definition, relevant, to acquire, to reinforce, quiz, endless, and method. You no longer need to depend on boring, ineffective word lists. You now have a complete method to create an endless, customized, and effective vocabulary lesson whenever you want. You are not just a passive student anymore. You are the director of your own English education. Now, it's time for your Day 5 challenge task. Your mission today is to try the toolkit. I want you to pick a topic that you love. It can be any sorts: cooking, science, history, anything. Then, use just one of the 4 AI prompts we learned today to learn one new word related to your topic. After you have done it, come back to the comments and write, Day 5 complete. My new word is, insert your new word here. Thank you for your incredible focus today. You are building amazing skills. Tomorrow, on Day 6 of our challenge, we are going to put your new vocabulary and sentence skills to the test in real-world scenarios. We are going to learn how to role-play conversations, so you are ready for anything. You don't want to miss it. If you are committed to making this 15-minute plan a part of your life, show your energy by smashing that like button. Be a hero for a friend by sharing this video with someone you know is too busy to study. And to lock in your commitment to this challenge, subscribe and smash that notification bell. I will see you tomorrow for Day 6. Keep up the fantastic work.